on a day with Josh. Put the boom boom into my heart. Set my soul sky high when your painting show starts. Paint with Josh into my brain. He's gonna paint till he drives us insane. Something's bugging you, something ain't right. Your best friend told.
Hey guys, it's Paint with Josh. Welcome back to the studio today. I'm going to teach you how to do a really cool sunset, well, more like moonlight, but a really neat bunch of colors that we're going to get on this canvas today on a 16 by 20 inch canvas. So, as usual, we do the literally every single step videos, right? On a Monday Night Madness. Welcome to the show. It's going to be fabulous. So you can see I've already done the majority of my canvas. Gotten it all nice and wet with our Bob Ross Liquid Clear or Grumbacher's Liquid Clear, or you can use linseed oil as a substitute. Right? We just want to really massage that paint into the canvas over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Right? That way, it's almost like greasing up your pan before you cook something. So everything we put on there will slide nice and easily. Perfection. Now, you guys have to check in. Let us know where you're watching from. It's already gorgeous. I love that. I love how we have coined a new term in the English language, and that is, instead of gorgeous, it's gorgeous. I love that. You guys, man, you guys are fantastic. So, as you can see, we're wiping off all this excess liquid clear because we're going to put some liquid white in our sky, making it very wet, right? So if we have too much clear on the canvas, it just makes whatever you do, doesn't matter if it's this painting or any other black canvas painting, it's going to make it harder to work if it's too wet in the sky or in any section of the canvas. Now we're going to go through the colors we're going to use today. Our Indian yellow, our madder carmine, the dioxazine purple from the Gamblin brand, our yellow ochre, and just a very small amount. That's even just enough for this painting. Then we're going to have our ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, midnight black, ivory black from the Gamblin set, and titanium white. Now, even with the brush that we just put our liquid clear on, once you wipe it off, you'll be able to feel a difference. It'll be much more slick and slippery. Right? Now, this painting I came up with this guy earlier today. We're going to have just under our halfway is going to be where the sky meets the water. All this yellow, this Indian yellow right here is part of our sky, right? We don't need too much of it on the canvas, and if you want to spread it all the way across, you can. You don't have to, okay? I'm going to go back up in with more Indian yellow and just kind of make a little patch, well, a pretty big patch out here. That way we can shrink it down with our other colors. Now, if I pile on a whole ton of Indian yellow, thick enough that you can see it anyway, right? It's going to be very vibrant. And so I'm going to want to spread that paint outwards, right? A little bit more of that Indian yellow right down in here where our sandy, beachy area is going to be. Right, so we're going to pop that thing down in there. Bang, right? It's going to be super simple. Don't have to have everything connect because we're going to put different colors in between. So now let's go into our madder carmine just a little bit. If we have too much of this color, then it's going to overtake our Indian yellow and just be too pinky crazy. But if we get a little bit of it and we kind of put it around our Indian yellow patch out there, which is going to make it smaller, it's going to try to make it very small. And so depending on how bright or how big of an area you want yours to be, totally up to you. And I can always go back with more Indian yellow and mix it around with that crimson-y red just so it's kind of brightest in the center and then gets darker. Right? That's the whole fun of doing these things. They're always going to be a little bit different. Every time we do it, it's going to be a little bit different. Right, maybe I want a little bit more crimson-y brightness through here. Totally up to me. Literally totally up to me. Come down here and meet this little Indian yellow patch as well and just turn it orangey. We don't need it to be pure yellow. We want it to be orangey. Right? Looking like a pretty cool painting already if it was a bit brighter, right? But before we do that, let's get over here into our yellow ochre color. Oof, there's barely any. You see what I mean? Like there's nothing in there and I'm trying to pull the littlest bit. And then we're going to come down like this and just kind of load up this area with our yellow ochre, kind of pushing it down. And you can see the yellow ochre is an opaque color. So as soon as I put it on there, it wants to cover up all the black, right? So the heavier that I lay it on there, kind of covers up more. The less that I lay it on down here, the less it's covering. Right over that Indian yellow patch. It's going to help us. Trust me. Okay. Now, as we spread that guy outward, going to get a little bit brighter, right? We can even take a little bit of our yellow ochre and put it right up here as well. I didn't do it in the first painting, but we could just to make it a bit brighter and more vibrant. Now, we're going to go into our purple with all these other colors on the brush, right? We're going to start dragging that purple in, mixing it around and pushing it against all these other colors and allowing it to blend, right? We don't need it to all be, you know, a circle of Indian yellow and then a circle of crimson and then a circle of purple. That's never going to look realistic, right? Even over here, drag it in from the edge, much more underneath so we can fill up the gaps in between with some form of color. And then you can even try to drag it upwards towards your yellow patch. Change your pressure, and you can go right across it without kind of dulling that yellow down too much. Remember, we're going to ignite everything out here. Now, in this empty patch, right underneath where our horizon is going to be, we're going to pull that purple paint, right? Almost like a number 3, where it'll kind of have a couple little points going out this way, right? Boom, boom, boom. Seriously, that's what it's gonna look like. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it if you do it this way. I'm gonna take that purple as well, put it down underneath, and because this yellow and the purple mix into the most gorgeousest of brown, we don't need to have any brown down on our canvas, right? Gorgeous, you guys. Now, the brush is very dark, okay? But again, if I can kind of change my pressure, I can get into that yellow area and even extend it or blend them together by pushing a little harder, making it harder to see where one color stops and one color starts. Remember, we're going to go brighten up everything with our white paints. We want it to be nice. Oh, that's going to be perfect. Yes. Okay, let's go wash off this brush. You guys tell us where you're watching from out there. And then we're going to start to paint a painting that you can actually see, okay? A lot of the times, I would cut this stuff out of the old video because it's boring. You can't see anything. It just looks like we're just kind of scrubbing around on a black canvas, right? But this is the most important part to having your painting come out well, is putting down those colors where you need them to be and then going back and igniting them with our white paint, right? So let's get a nice clean dry brush, and then after it's nice and clean and dry, we're going to dip into our liquid white kind of petri dish that I keep over here. Just a little liquid white dish, right? We'll just pop into it one little time, and that's a lot of paint. Okay, so maybe let's put it on our palette like this. Just kind of push it flat and drop off a little bit of that paint. And then I can go back over there and pick it up later. Okay, so let's say our brightest spot is going to be right out here. And if I start brightening, look at that. Look at the color just ignite, right? The more that I mix it outwards, the more it's going to change in the color. Just making a bigger circle and a bigger circle and a bigger circle. Look at that for a sky. Yes, right now. I can choose to drop off or dab off my brush if I want to, but I want to get up here with all these little crazy bits, and then it's up to you whether or not you want to leave them, right? But we're going to start to crisscross, and as we crisscross and blend it and make it nice and soft, it's going to allow all these different colors. Look at all those colors, right? As long as we don't make it as bright in the corners as it is right here, then you're going to look right there, right? Now remember, you don't have the entire sky showing. It's really only showing right here and in the top area, right? And then we can decide, what do we want our clouds to look like? Just by blending it nice and softly, allowing that brightness right there to just stand out. Oh, you know what I want to do? Let's make it even brighter. Let's go back. We'll grab that liquid white we kind of dumped off, and let's put it back in here. Maybe get a little bit more. All right, and then we can decide how bright we want it to be. Because the more liquid white we put up there, the brighter it becomes. All right, we don't want it to be too bright because we want to be able to plop our little moon in there. All right, so let's get any excess white off of our brush, just onto a paper towel. Then you can blend this guy out. And remember, all the stuff at the bottom gets hidden, so I can push real hard and drag some of that brightness over here. Oh, it's gonna be fabulous, right? Everything else doesn't matter. Don't even worry about it. Let's grab our fan brush, our titanium white, just pure solid titanium white. Okay. And you know what we're going to do first? Excuse me. I apologize. Let's get our filbert brush and the same titanium white onto the filbert brush. Okay, we're going to do the old filbert brush trick right here, where we have our, my thumb looks all weird sticking up into the canvas. Okay, we've got our paint on the one side, not on the other side. We're going to put the side that has the paint on it right into the center of our brightest area, holding it in place and pushing it flat, right? Then I'm going to try to stay out of your way. As I rotate around, it starts to spread out all those little brissies, and then you just pull away. You get your gorgeous little moon out there. Now, depending on how hard you pushed it, right? It might try to blend in. It might be brighter in some areas, darker in some areas. But that's the fun part about it, is that you kind of create your little shadows and such without even doing anything. And if you wanted to, you know, be crazy like me and just fill it all the way in, you could. You could totally do that and make it all the same amount of brightness. Fabulous. Now, also, if it's not a perfect circle, neither is our moon. Our real moon is not a perfect circle. So don't worry about that. Okay, now let's go back to our fan brush that had all that titanium white onto it. And we're going to decide, maybe we come down like this and it goes right out there, and then we stop and we back up, right? Just like we're vacuuming. We're going to come out here and we're going to back up down the same line. Make this guy a little bit bigger out there, a little bit more paint down here. So it's kind of flat along the bottom. It's actually going down along the bottom. Then I can get my nice clean 2-inch brush, and I can start with just the corner of the brush, just the littlest of the bristles, and start to agitate that paint. And as I agitate it and mix it and mix it and mix it, it starts to go away. It starts to blend with the darker color that is underneath it. If I've got a spot, then I'm like, you know what? I like some darkness and I like some stuff, but that's too big, right? So I come in, I pop a little bit of bright in there, knowing that I can push that brightness up this way, that way, this way, every which way, right? Move it around, blend it around, and then I can even push very hard along the bottom and make it disappear if I wanted to. Totally up to me. Every time we do it, you guys, another chance to do it a bit differently. So, Yvonne, do we have the commercial all queued up and ready to go? Well, excellent. We're coming up on commercial time, guys. So I'm just going to pop in a little bit more white right in there, remembering that we're not going to see every part of this cloud, so don't do too much. You want it to be a little bit brighter, there, just add a little bit heavier in the paint, right? And then we're going to go over it less as we mix it down with less pressure, right? Very soft little wispy bits. So, you guys, sit back, relax, take a look at this awesome commercial, and we'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Hey guys, it's Paint with Josh back in the studio with you today, taking a break from editing to talk about our Glitterwix candles. Absolutely fantastic, super unique jars, more than 65 different scents that you can find if you head over to their site. Check it out, get your favorite, let us know which one you got when you come back, and let's pop over to the show and see what we've been missing while we've been gone.
Hey everybody. I just add a little bit more yellow ochre in that spot right here. It's just too dark over there, especially being right underneath our moon. Should be a bright spot, you would imagine. You would think, right? All depends on where you put your moon and how much you let that yellow and purple interact with each other. Now, we need to mix up our plaque mixture. Does anyone out there watching know what 3 colors we use to make up our plaque mix? We're going to make up our original plaque mixture, right? So those 3 colors, if you don't know, blue, crimson, and black. And you know what? I need a little bit of my Van Dyke brown out of the old box. And today we're using the Winsor Newton Van Dyke brown. Fabulous color. There's a lot. You know what's funny? I never used to like the Van Dyke brown when I very first started painting. It was too dark. You know what I mean? And you couldn't do anything. At least I couldn't do anything with it. And now that's the only brown I use. I don't even use the dark sienna because I can brighten up the Van Dyke brown with some white and some yellow ochre to kind of make it more like that dark sienna color. So we're going to take a little bit of that Van Dyke brown, and a good chunk you can see, mix it in so it's about halvesies with the plaque and the Van Dyke brown, which makes it what, Yvonne? Do you know what color we call that? Brack. When you mix black and brown, you make brack. All right, so I know I didn't name it. The fans named it, okay? So don't blame me. What we're gonna do is take our Paint with Josh fan brush. The new fan brushes are coming out. Oh, shoot, I got an email from Daphne earlier, and I didn't even look. What a butt of me. I need to go look at that. So we're going to take our Paint with Josh fan brush, which should be coming out in February or March. We're going to release the new set. And we've got that plaque all over it. And what we need to do is contrast against all this brightness, right? So we might as well hold it like a pencil, use the corner of the brush, right, to hit it first. And then let's just go nuts. Let's get up here, drop it down. It's very vertical out here. And I can't remember where the person said it was. They say either whether it was Cape Disappointment or whether it was some other place that I am unaware of. You know what I mean? All these things. Remember, we don't need to paint the entire rock. We do need to make it dark enough so that when it's kind of blocking out our sky by the time it gets down here. Any bright color has now been taken away, and now we have all this darkness that we can then go across with our bright highlights and brighten it up, right? So, fabulous. Dudes, that's cool. That is neat, right along the edge. Yeah. Woo! Man. Good night. I can already see it. Okay. Now, since we have that little bit, like our brush is mostly used up, I want to touch it right here on the corner, right? And just make a weird thing, like a weird little bit of bush or something that's hanging off the top right here. It can be as big as I want, whatever it is, right? Maybe I want to have a couple little bits off the top, whatever it is, right? Maybe it's a whole bunch of trees or something, some far away little detail, okay? Then we're going to go with a crazy small little bunch of stuff out here. Okay, so we're going to maybe put it about that big. Turn our brush on the side. Wait for Josh to be able to see it. There we go. Tap in, little thing, right? Far away little tree. Make sure that he connects down here at the base. Yeah, right? We're going to put a little lighthouse in this guy right next to that little tree. So don't worry about that one too much. Let's move over here. Okay, let's pop in a little bigger, taller tree. Right? But again, very small little taps. I'm not even putting in the whole brush. We're just barely tapping it. We don't want to have too many details way out here, right? We're looking at this thing from a distance, so all we're seeing are the silhouettes underneath the moonlight. Now we can take and kind of cheat a little bit and pop in a couple little bits down at the base, making sure they're nice and dark, right? And creating more trees without having to create the actual branches of the tree, right? All up to you and what you want yours to look like. You never have to paint the whole thing. Now, let's get over here. We'll start making a bigger guy, right? Getting up in there, chapping a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Just a couple little details on them. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be full or symmetrical or anything, unless you want them to be, right? It's all up to what you want every time you do your painting, okay? So, make a little twala out there. Pop a couple more bits in between him, right? So we'll kind of come up, we'll come down. Just creating some contrast between all the brightness out there, right? With these dark trees. Then we'll come up, maybe we'll come up a little bit higher. And if you ever make a mistake, and you make one like too big, like, oh no. I mean, I never do. But if you do, right, you can always go back and make him bigger and create more little branchies off of that guy, which is going to make him look closer to us, right? Remember to dark out everything. Keep getting taller and taller and taller as we go. Each one of these little guys is not just one tree. It's a whole forest out there, right? So you got to decide, what do you want them to look like? How big, how detailed, how many little branches are coming off? How many can we see that have branches, right? Because not every one has to have the branches. Boom, boom, boom. Isn't that neat? That is so cool looking. Now again, with all this darkness that's underneath, it's kind of blacking out our background sky back there, right? We can even change this. I don't like this one going so straight down. There. Dip it off. There. Then it goes down, right? And it's all about, if it looks shiny to you or very bright, that's just the glare from the lights. It should be dark, right? So make sure yours is dark. Now, we're going to take and pull away from the back edge of that little rocky thing, just softening the paint a little bit. And then we're going to come up here and start our tip-tapping and chip-chapping, right? I don't know what that means, but we do it. We're going to come out here and tap it down, just making it softer for the next layer, okay? That way, we can come in, swipe it up, Get rid of all of our little brushy details out there, turn it into this very soft little forest, and then come in and go, you know what? I want it to be darker, like right there. Pop a little bit more darkness, covering up some of that mist, because we don't need all that mist back there, but we don't need everything to be so textured either, right? The mist we can't see off into the background. Oh, there, that's fabulous, right? You can see there's a little bit of darkness, a little bit of detail down in there, but nothing too much, right? Because if it is too much, you're just not going to like it. I'm telling you from experience, you guys. Okay, now we are going to go back and we'll do the lighthouse at the end, and then we're going to highlight all those rocks with a little bit of darkness at the end as well. But in the meantime, we're going to come in here with our titanium white only. We're going to pull it out like that, scrape up a little tiny roll, get out here and go, you know what? Out there, it started to come in and get very flat, right? You can get your first line can be pretty flat like that. And then we're going to stop and change our angle and start going down and back and down and back. Very shallow line, right? Or very shallow angle. You don't have to have everything being the same. So you can kind of grab onto the paint that's up there, scrape it downward in a different crazy way. Not everything has to be the same brightness or same color or whatever, you guys. It's totally up to you each time that you go to do it. It should be darker over here on the right? That's why we put the purple paint over there, so everything would darken. Okay? Now remember, you got to take it and pull it back very gently, just to kind of fill in some of the color, take away some of the details. You can even pull it from forward to back, but just like that, it gets very glossy out there. Oh, it's fantastic. Okay. Yes! Now remember, you got to come in here. I was telling this to Yvonne earlier. If we start up here, then we came down, and then we came back up, right? And kind of connected these guys, not at such a severe, steep angle, but it looks like you could now get back into a little cove back there. How high up do you get over here? It depends on whether it's the morning or the night. Over there and over here, right? Ooh, whoa! The more we do, the more we're going to dislike. So let's not make it get up there too much. Oh, that's fabulous. See those different levels? And you can even get back in here and change them, make them not so severe if you wanted to. Totally up to you. Now, one more little line of titanium white on the same angle. So almost starting from over here. All right, we're going to scrape it down just like train tracks. Well, it doesn't have to be the most perfect of train track, right? But kind of like train tracks, just scraping it. Oh, that's it. That's the angle, baby. Now, underneath, let's leave a little separation. Start to make this area brighter than every other spot, right? That way, we can sneak off little things out here. Just leaving more space in between the bright is all we're doing out there, right? Scraping it over, letting it get darker, letting it mix in more. And again, this spot should be a little more textured than our last spot. And we're pulling it off straight horizontal. We're not coming up here and changing our angle and trying to make a big ramp. We're pulling off to the side. 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. We talk about it all the time. Oh, it's fantastic. My goodness. And let's say I put too much, or I went over too far. That's okay. We're going to mess it all up here in a bit anyway, okay? So now we have to make the brightness of our sand, which means we're going to scoop up a little bit of our liquid white. I'm going to drop it down over here. We're going to take a, well, now we've changed the ratio. It's more titanium white than liquid white now, right? I feel like if it's too liquidy white, then it's going to grow too much for you. It's going to make it too bright, too big, and then you're going to lose all your dark sandy look, right? So we've switched up the ratio. We're going to kind of pull it out, scrape up a little roll. Let's go underneath our moon first. Leave the biggest marks underneath this guy, right? So the more we pull down over here, the brighter the sand will get, okay? If I want it to look like it's getting darker as it going further away, I'm just going to use less and less and less and less and less and less paint over there. That way, when we interact, especially over the darker purplish brownish that's down here anyway, it should be a darker color because there's less paint and it's over a darker shadowy color. Now, let's say I even messed up and touched it. Oh no. And what do I always tell you? The only way you can mess this up is if you let those two colors touch. That's what I mean. If you get rid of that dark separator, everything gets ruined. And then it's very hard to go put back in, right? On this instance, on this side, we don't really care because we're going to scrape all that stuff back anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now, let's take our brush and let's wash it off. Let's get a good old clean 2-inch brush over here. Yeah! So you got to check in out there. Let us know where you're watching from. Where are you watching from? Remember, we're going to toss a little lighthouse in this guy. And he's going to be the cutest thing you ever saw. We're literally just going to use a liner brush to make our lighthouse and kind of pencil him in. It's going to be very cool. So let's wash off our brush. You guys are checking in. We got Alabama, Germany, Minnesota, South Carolina, Ohio. Woo! It's gorgeous. I love it. Michigan, California, Puerto Rico, Belize, Michigan again, Poland, Pennsylvania, Utah, Texas, Virginia, Cali, Guyana, Connecticut. Now, we got people watching from everywhere today, Yvonne. Now, we're going to take our 2-inch brush right here, hold it very flat so we can see where we're going to touch. If we're out here like this, we can't really see if the top bristles are going to grab that paint above. And remember, do not let it grab that paint above. Take it, push it down, right? The more we push it down, the more glossy it shall look, right? If I come up there and touch my wave, or if I get rid of that dark separator and I lose it, it's going to be a bad deal. Now, when we happen to go viral, it's because we're doing stuff like this, but let me start that one over. Hang on. Okay, what do I normally say in those videos that go crazy? What do I normally say? I forget now. Let's see. So as we pull all these guys down, I'm going to ask you a question. Does this look like wet, sandy beach to you? Just yes or no. Type it in the comments now. If not, tell me what you think it looks like to you. You let me know. A lot of times we get waterfall, we get a glacier, we get an ice wall, we get a Niagara Falls, we get lots of stuff, right? Now, what if we were to take all that paint and pull it horizontally away from the wave, right? Turning all those vertical streaks into horizontal streaks. Don't you see that bit of shiny sand now? And then especially, we can get back in here with our brown onto our brush, right? Start pushing it up and shrinking back the sand, the wet part of the sand anyway, depending on how far we push that brown paint inward, right? All this stuff is going to all blend together, so you don't even have to worry about it. It's so dark back there, you can't even see it anyway, right? So the more that I push that brown inwards, the less of that shiny area that we have. You see that? Isn't that fantastic? My goodness. If I wanted to change that angle too, I could just change it like that. Guys, that is fabulous. Okay. Next step, we have to take that same liquid paint, our liquid white paint, mixed with our titanium white, scoop up a very small amount, right? We can even get back in here and start shrinking our little dark separator, because that guy should be smaller. He's a little bit further away. This guy could creep up almost right on top of these little friends over here, right? Whatever it wants to do. If it's bright along the front, it's going to look like little waves, a little tumultuousness. Right? So same thing down here. We have to shrink down our separation and not let it completely cover up that dark separator, right? If it does, or you come out onto your sand, right, don't allow it to happen everywhere. So if you accidentally go, you know what, I was bopping along and having a good time, and all of a sudden, boom, I lost my dark separator. Just don't let it happen throughout the whole line, right? Try to have some bits underneath there at some point throughout the whole line, right? And then you can change it and you can adjust how bright you want it to be, this, that, and the other, all up to you, okay? All this stuff back here is going to get blended away and become harder to see anyway, right? So the more that I mix or push backwards over here, the softer I can make this line. Say I came out too far, I can just mix it up a little bit, right? If I come up here and grab some of that darker paint and mix it down into here, I can very much make it look misty and hard to see. Right? I can take some of that paint. I can even grab some of the stuff from out there and just allow it to mix up into the cliffs. Right? It's up to me. I don't want to be able to see everything, because if I can see everything, then it's all the same. Then it's not realistic to me. You know what I mean? And we get to decide where we want it to be, how bright, how dark, all this stuff. So what happens if I kind of mushed it around too much? I can come in here with that yellow ochre, brighten it up again. Oh, man. Oh, God, that looks so cool. Now we can come out here again along the same line, right? Let's say we came all the way out there, grabbed it up, started loading it down at that same angle, right? Just flowing down like train tracks. Seriously, all you have to do, because you can come out here and grip onto that guy, right? Right from the front with just the corner, kind of pulling it to the side. 3 o'clock. Don't try to screw around. Don't try to change up the angle, right? 3 o'clock. And then over here, like I said, we can mist everything up. So whatever we don't like, we can get rid of. Even this part in the front, right? You could make it go away. And then all of a sudden, everything's not so easy to see. You get that mysteriousness. And that's what sells paintings, you guys. I'm serious. The thing that you want, like we want to be able to see it, but we can't. Just can't do it, right? Pulling out horizontally. Don't try to screw around and go vertical or diagonal on me, just straight horizontal, okay? You can even see where Josh accidentally went up a little bit, right? It starts to change your perception of everything, and then it starts looking very strange. So you guys get ready for a commercial break, and then we're gonna add our details into this guy, throw in the sand, and my goodness, is it going to be fantastic. Maybe we do change the angle right there. Ooh, if we push on it harder, right? And it's just all things you can do. But I suggest going out horizontally, right? It always helps your brain understand it right there. Fabulous, right? Anything that we don't like, blend it away. Get rid of it completely. Look at that one, Yvonne. Fabulous. So you guys hang out for this quick commercial break. I'm going to get ready to make it even prettier than it already is, and we'll see you in about 30 seconds.
And London, right back here, is checking everything out on the computer. So comment, comment, comment. It helps much more than you might think and helps boost engagement and gets us out to more people. So let's get back to the show and see what we got going on up there.
Excellent to you guys. I love it. We're going to come over here, flatten down a little of these areas as well. Just kind of filling back some of that brightness so it's not so dark. Oh, right. And it's totally up to you. What do you feel like yours should look like? Should it go further inland? Should it not? Should it come up and almost disappear? Or do you want yours to be more noticeable, more severely bright, or whatever? All up to you. Remember, you are in control, man. Fabulous. Look at that, dude. Zah. Okay, now let's get our same liquid white, titanium white mix, that 70-30 we've been working with right here. 70% titanium white, 30% liquid white. We're going to come back and underneath the moon, right, in different areas, kind of split up so they're not all exactly vertical. They're not all right underneath each other. You know what I mean? They're not all the same brightness. That way, the moon, you see it hit twice right there already. Now, let's get in here and let's not go so wild. Let's just continue. Let's skip an area, right? Again, straight horizontal pulls. Not going crazy. That way, if I came all the way over there, it's a straight line. I mean, basically, right? It's a wobbly line, but it's going over to the side versus going up or at an angle or whatever. Right? Now, if you do too many of these, it doesn't look bad. You just have to keep going. Right? If it starts looking like it's too bright, then you got to keep making it more and more and more and more and more bright. So, be careful. Don't have them all look the same, and it's just like a Z pattern. All the way down. Oh, look at that. Look at that, you guys. Yes. That one is fabulous. So, if you guys are not jumping at grabbing this one during the live show, remember, you will get a free gift off the Spinny Winnie Wheel if you grab this painting during this live, but you got to get it during the show. Otherwise, you don't get the free gift. Isn't that fabulous? And again, the more you go to the side, the more I don't like it. So then I decide to come back in and just mist it up a little bit. Make it a little harder to see by pulling it back towards the wave, kind of pushing that paint back that way. Yvonne, how does that look? That one came out fabulous. My goodness gracious. Okay, so now we've got to toss in our sandy specks at the bottom. But before we do that, since we have our palette tool in our hand, let's come over here and grab our Van Dyke Brown. Okay, and a little bit of our titanium white. Depends on how bright you want your rocky bits. That's way too bright. So now I need like 3 times the amount of Van Dyke brown to make it dark enough again. There, right? Mix it up until it is however you like it. You want to add a little bit of the yellow ochre in there? You can. Try not to get so much skin. There we go. And you can add that yellow ochre and just make it a little bit more vibrantly cool, right? Now, normally, if I want to have a textured look onto something, I want to load it up with my plaque mix and like fold it, you know what I mean, shape it like that. But what I did with this guy was just used a very small amount of just the pure highlight across this darker plaque mix that's already there, right? So then I can decide maybe, right, maybe my light come down like this, and I'm just going to scrape it in. You know what I mean? I don't have to lay it on heavy. I don't have to have all that texture because it's so far away, right? So we just need little bits, and then I'll scoop up a little bit more, and I'll try to mush it in there. And again, we're just smushing it. Literally, smush it in. Leave some space. Make it get darker, right? Because the darker that it gets, the more it's going to fade into the night. If it's too bright, right, then it all looks too close. Look at that. You feed a little spot down. Maybe we let those guys connect just in 2 or 3 places in between. Take it off of its backside up here. And then remember, we can't see that dark side over there. So leave it. Leave it dark. Leave it crazy. Leave it untouched, right? Because we wouldn't be able to actually see it from where the light is casting from. Yes! That one looks fabulous. Now remember, we're going to put a little lighthouse in right there on top of that spot. If you want to. If you don't, that's up to you as well. Now, the more that I lay it on there heavily, the brighter it becomes, right? So it's a good lesson, or a good, I always forget the word in this moment when I'm trying to say a good, I don't know, a good lesson to learn, a good bit of practice, a good thing. I don't know. I've lost it. Let's get not only the words, but my brain. I've lost my mind. Fabulous. Okay. Now, if I got too close up into my trees, which happens, okay, I'm going to come back in and kind of tap at that darkness, almost making like the shadows in my trees come down a little further as well, just helping it be a little bit darker in there. Then I can come back with my brush, be very gentle, kind of pulling in the opposite direction that we did. We don't have to have a lot of texture off the back, right? There's already a bunch of paint up there, but it's very lightly kind of brushed with that fan brush. So we don't need a lot of that texture back there. We don't need light all the way down at the bottom. Look at that. It looks like a sleeping, it looks like an arm of like a tentacle of the Kraken that's just sleeping out there, right? Now remember, you got to let this stuff fade in as it gets darker. So just scrub it in more. Just disturb it more, right? If there's a nice bright spot, scrape in a dark section in between it, and you get a cool little shadow or a thing here. Bring that down. Grab up some of the bright from there and drop it down on different places. All up to you guys and how you want it to look. Remember, there, right? Further in there we go, the more of a little cove we'll get. Maybe we'll pop a little bit of crashing splashers right there on the side. Yes, dudes. That one came out fabulous. Okay, now let's get our liquid white onto a fan brush. Just a nice, clean, dry fan brush. Little touch of liquid white because we don't need too many. We're not splashing in a lot of stuff out here. Right? Couple little bits. We're going to back away and start to flick into our sand. And as you get those little white specks into that very dark brown section down there, it starts looking like sand. To me, does it look like sand to you, Yvonne? Or have I just been like foolish this whole time and just not? Yeah, it's like the little seashells that get crushed up and little things. Oh, isn't that fabulous? Yes! Okay, so you got to come up with a title for this one as I show you how to paint a little lighthouse out here, okay? So first thing we're going to do is put in the light. I like to put the light in first and then kind of seal it in around there. So I'm going to take my Paint with Josh liner brush. We're going to decide where the light should be. It should probably be a bit taller than our tree line, don't you think? And I'm almost going to make like a little square just by tapping it in up there, right? Now, if it's too tall, then you got to make your lighthouse even bigger. And if you're like, oh no, I don't want it to be right there, because it's pure liquid white, it will blend away so fast, it'll make your head spin. Now, let's get our odorless mineral spirits into our plaque mixture that we created this mountain out of, or our brack mixture, excuse me. Right? Very wet on the brush so that it comes off, right? And then we're going to get up here and sort of create a little square around our bright section. Okay, and then from that guy, we're going to go straight down. And a lot of times it takes it takes a minute, which is why we don't do lighthouses a lot, because it's a lot of details that have to be perfect, right? And you guys know me, I don't like painting stuff that has to be perfect. So with our liner brush, to keep it small and thin, we're going to fill in that darkness just by dragging it from the top light down, right? And allowing it to fill in, not trying to grab any of that bright though, because that bright of that white, like our liquid white of the light, will try to make your base paint brighter. So now let's go with our pure ivory black, just to show it should be darker. There we go. Perfect. I can't even see with the glare. I gotta get my big old head in you guys' way just a little, just to make him wider. Perfect. Right around the edge. Gorgeous, right? Now we just gotta put a little cap on the top and then make his house. The house part of the lighthouse. So again, I'm going straight into the ivory black with the odorless mineral spirits. We're going to put a little triangle right on top of the house and then fill it in. Flat top edge. Boom. Got yourself a little lighthouse out there. Right? Now, you have to go off the backside at a downward angle, stop, turn it vertically, and then pull it down. And then fill in this space, right, as much as you want anyway, with that darkness. You can either use your liner brush like I am, or a bigger brush, maybe a filbert brush, all up to you. But we're just painting this little silhouette of our little lighthouse out there. Isn't he cute? He's cute! You guys. Let's make it a little longer. Whoop, whoop. Just extend his lighthouse tush a little bit. There, right? Super simple, little easy thing. All it is just a straight, you know, cylinder. Hello, was that this painting? Or was it the smaller version? Let's see. What is this one? It is this painting. Excellent. Excellent, you guys. Oh, and they gave me a tip. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. Right. Thank you. Now, let's get rid of that little dark spot out there. Very lightly. Look at that, dudes. Okay, let's throw in the old Paint with Josh signature. And then you guys are going to have to help. I think it's, what was it? Bruce. You're going to have to help Bruce Almighty come up with a title for this one. Right? What do you think it should be called? Let us know in the comments now. Don't wait. Do it now. There. Perfection. Oh, I love it. Fabulous. Dudes. Let's get a little bit more. I just want to make him extra dark for Bruce out there. Bruce! You got to let us know which platform you're watching on, because we stream to so many places now. There. Oh, I like it. I got to get my big head in the way just to fix a line. There. That's what I want to see. Perfection, you guys. So, one more time, we're going to put in the Paint with Josh signature. Go into my odorless mineral spirits, my plaque mix, or my black. And let's get up here and just go caca and launch them in. There. Flying in. These ones are hard to see. You got to stare right at the moon almost to see these birdies. So, Bruce, what are we going to call this one? Let us know where you're watching from. Orange Crush. That's a cool title. And then remember, guys, there is a very similar painting that we did earlier today. I'm talking about very similar. Look at this one. These both, you might not be able to tell the difference, okay? So we got this one that just went during the live show. This is the tutorial. This one I painted earlier as the, like practice version, right? So this one is still available. That one has now found a new home. Look at how similar they are. Like this, like close your eyes, right? Look at this, then shut your eyes, then open them. That one's a little bit, it like pops a little bit more. I don't know what it is. Maybe more brightness, more white, something like that. But both of these are available. Excuse me, that one is. This one is no longer. And we've got to take a quick commercial break. So hit us with your titles while we take this commercial. And then by the time we come back, hopefully we found Bruce and he's chosen a title for us. So hang out for like 35 seconds, literally, and then I'll be back. Have you watched like 1,000 Paint with Josh videos and you just can't seem to get it right? Let's do a virtual class where I can show you how to use the brush, show you how to contact the canvas, pick up the camera, and show you angles you've never seen before in a Paint with Josh video. So check out the site, scroll down a little bit, see the calendar, book your date and your time, pick a virtual class, and then we'll meet up via video call. I'll email you and everything's going to be fantastic. So let's get back to the show and see what we've been up to while we've been gone. Hey guys! Oh man, I love those commercials. I'm over here out of frame cleaning up brushes, but look at how fabulous this one came out. My goodness. So Bruce is watching on the talks, and Bruce, you're going to have lots of people giving you title suggestions. You could choose one of theirs. You could come up with your own. You could make me choose. Oh, there's London. I got the door locked because so people don't come in during the show. Over here, right? So Bruce, you got to choose for us. What do we got? What do you feel like, Bruce? What is this one called? Because I think I called the other one Lighthouse Cove. I'm very lazy with titles when I'm not live during the show for you guys. It's just like, oh, there's a lighthouse in a cove. Oh, it's Lighthouse Cove, right? So I rely on you guys so much for titling these paintings, or at least you purchasing them so I don't have to title them, right? So where's Bruce? Bruce. Moon-Kissed Blood Moon, Lucifer's Landing, Bubble at Night, or Nubble at Night. Haunted Harbor, I like that. That's a cool title. I didn't even think of this. Dude, we could have done this for Halloween had I had, thought of it. It's got the orange and the purples for Halloween-y. We can put like a little ghost floating up out of the lighthouse when we do the Halloween one. Amber Waves or Lunar Tide, Ember's Kiss, Dark Side of the Ocean. I like that one too. I like Haunted Harbor too, Bruce. Okay, Bruce is going to go with Haunted Harbor, even though it's January 5th and we're not painting a Halloween-themed painting. We're going to call it Haunted Harbor in the night. Man, this one came out fabulous, you guys. Okay, now whether or not Josh can spell harbor or not, I'm going to spell it like a Harbor Freight. It's just H-A-B-O-R. So there's a U in there, I think, somewhere, right? No, there isn't. Well, there is a U in haunted. I know that. Oh, come over here. Remember, this Paint with Josh, whatever that word is, it used to say original, but now I just don't even care. It's just some weird language. This one is number 2224, and we're calling it Haunted Harbor. I think if you're in the UK or in Europe anyway, you add that B-O-U-R when you're spelling harbor, but not over here in the US. We're going to go like this. 1/5/2026, and we're all going to go check out Paint with Josh blank blank, just like we always do. You guys don't look at my penmanship or my, it's just all bad. It's all bad, all of it. So this one came out absolutely fantastical. If you guys or someone out there wanted to grab that other painting that we did as well, right? Like the practice version. If we sold that one during this show, that would guarantee that Yvonne would want to hang out with me long enough again to do another show tonight. But if not, that's okay. We can come back on Thursday and we'll take our 2 days off. I'm down for 2 days off. Start now. I never have a day off anyway. I'm either here at the studio or editing videos or, playing Call of Duty. That's a job. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that good. My goodness. I wish I could have people as many people that watch me paint, if they watch me play video games, I get to sit a lot more. That'd be the only difference. It'd still be just as hilariously funny and talented. Okay. And handsome, of course. Okay. Yeah, this one is fantastic. So we chose a cool title, and now we're going to give you a light flash warning thing. So if you're sensitive to lights or flashing on your screen, right, then turn your phone away, because I'm telling you now, we're about to ignite this canvas with a bunch of colors, and it's going to flash all crazy on your screen, right? If you are going to stay for the light party, effectively giving up all liability against Paint with Us LLC, then type in the words "I'm ready" and keep your thumbs right there and ready to tell me the first thing that catches your eye. So when I say, after you type in the words "I'm ready," right, and your thumbs are there, shut your eyes. And when I say the words "light party," then open up your eyes and tell me the very first thing that you see. We should have a lot of closed eyes right now, because I see a lot of "I'm readies," and we're going to get it going. Shut those eyes in 3, 2, 1. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Open your eyes and tell me the first thing that catches your eye. What's flashing for you the most as we do the light party? Vaughn, you're going to have to push down the light party lights, and I'm going to spin this around at the right time. It's number 6, that one that's like halfway through, right? So we're going to come down in 3, 2, 1. Normal lighting conditions, you guys. Fabulous. Good teamwork. Come on. I forget when we have the black canvas and we're using this light over here that I also have to spin the light around so it gets even more intense, right? So the moon, the moon, the moon, the moon, the moon, 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 and the moon, moon. Let's see. Don't worry, guys. We always put the JK because we're just kidding. We put the JK in at the very end. A fabulous zip zap and a chip chap. Yeah, that one came out great. So awesome little painting. All right, we're gonna spin the spinny winny wheel, but before that, let's do the RGB party real quick. Do you know what that is? It's when we take solid red light, which is gonna look amazing on this one, then solid green, and then solid blue light, and we put them on the canvas. And all I want you to do is just tell me which color you like best, right? We only do this when the paintings find a new home, so when they sell during the show. So it's an extra special treat for all of you guys to see it in the RGB party. So no flash warning needed. We're just going to go red light, solid red. Spin that dang thing out of the way again. Just going to go solid red light, okay, in 3, 2, 1, red. Oh, look at it. Oh, that is just the devil's seascape, yo. I like it, right? What's your favorite? Red, green, which is also just, that looks Halloween-y to me right there, right? Or blue, which makes it just super nighttime. Look at how the lighthouse light stands out in the blue, though. That's very cool. So, yeah, we're all back to normal lighting conditions. I'm going to put this guy over here, too, just so we can see it a bit better. There we go. So, you guys have been amazing. I'm going to grab the wheel real quick, and then we'll give it a spin for Bruce. Bruce, is this your first time watching? Have you watched a lot before, and this was the first time you just wanted to grab one of the paintings? Did it just jump out at you, and you were like, I have to have that? Like, tell us, what happened in your brain in order to grab this painting? And I'm going to spin the old spinny winny wheel for you, and whatever it lands on, that's what you're going to get. You got a free spin for next time that you get. No, I'm just kidding. We'll do it. We'll do it here. Everyone just loves the wheel. They didn't even watch a show for me. They just want to see the wheel. Josh wins. Woo! Man, how many times are we going to have to spin the wheel today? Someone, we're fulfilling someone's dreams right here. Oh, that's 2 times. You guys know what happens. If it lands on Josh wins, or you lose 3 times in a row, you actually have to lose. Oh, look at you. You got a Paint with Josh Coleslaw t-shirt. One of my favorite t-shirts that we have. And that, by the way, would have been the first win of 2026 for old Paint with Josh. But we never let Josh win. So this one came out fantastic. Bruce, email me. Go back to the site. Scroll to the bottom. Contact us. It'll send me an email. I'll send you back a code. You go back to the site. Put the Coleslaw t-shirt in your cart. Use the code. Makes it free. You just pay the shipping, which is like $4 or $5. And then it'll get sent right out to you. Thank you for making the show better. Thank all of you guys for being here. And like I said, if we could have got both of those to go find a home, then I would have come back for another show. But as far as I know, it's only this one that went and found a new home. Man, 2,224 paintings. That means 2,223 is the one I was talking about over there, which looks exactly like this guy. So, you guys have been amazing. I love you. We can't wait to come back. We'll do it again on Thursday. Actually, do I have the energy? And one more idea that I could salvage from this week? Probably not. I'm really hungry. Like hungry to the point that my stomach hurts. I'm thinking about it going, why am I stuttering so much? Because my stomach is chewing up my words before I can even get them out of my mouth. So, you guys have been fantastic. We'll be back Thursday, what's that, the 8th? Tuesday the 6th, Wednesday the 7th. Thursday the 8th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. Plus, it's like the next week if you're in Australia. I don't know how far ahead they are. But you guys have been fantastic. I can't wait to see your versions of this painting. So when you get finished, send them into my Facebook at official Paint with Josh. Be sure that if you're trying to get classes or Paint with Josh paintings or anything, that you're going through the official Paint with Josh website. And you guys know what that would be. Paint with Josh, blank, blank, right? That same thing that you put at the end of every other website. So I do love you guys. We're going to get out of here. We can't wait to come back and do it again for you on Thursday. And until then, have a great time. So, hang on. And until then, it was such a perfect outro. Perfectly perfect outro. And then we ate it at the end. So, I can't wait to see your guys' versions of this painting. And until we see you guys again next time, take care. Rest of a good day. And blah, blah. Well, that one came out amazing. I want to thank you guys for being here, liking, subscribing, tapping the screen, commenting, and interacting with me. It's all been fantastic. In the meantime, before we get to our next painting, be sure you check out paintwithjosh.com because there's always something else to look at over there. So until I see you guys again next time, take care.